Hello and welcome to Burnout Bouncebackability. Now, do you keep hearing this term burnout and are wondering, what is it? How does it differ from stress or depression? And isn't it just another form of overwork and exhaustion in the workplace? If you don't already know me, I'm Stuart at Unscrambled Heads. I'm a high performance coach working with corporate professionals, executives and students. I focus in on burnout recovery and prevention. Burnout is real, very real, and burnout is growing, reckoned to be impacting an ever-increasing 50% of people today, according to a recent article in Forbes in May of 2021. I'm going to be releasing a series of videos on a different burnout topic each week. They'll help give you some insight into this syndrome and to help some of you to bounce back from it and to stop others from bouncing into burnout. I'm calling this video series Burnout Bouncebackability. Now, I believe it's possible for many people to bounce back from burnout. In fact, I know it can be done because I've been there. I've been to burnout and I've bounced back from it. So it's very, very personal for me. Many of the things that I speak of are as relevant for burnout prevention as they are for recovery. However, prevention and recovery are subtly different, and I'll be exploring this a little bit during the video series. Now, I've used the term burnout a couple of times in this video already. Tomorrow I'll release my second video that focuses on what this thing called burnout actually is, before I then move on to release my videos weekly, one per week. But for now, burnout is a syndrome, or that's how the World Health Organization characterizes it. Now, for some people, having some form of label like burnout to attach to could be really valuable. It might help them to devise a positive action plan for recovery. But for others, having some body or even themselves label themselves as having burnout might be detrimental, and it might start a spiral of negative thoughts or emotions. So firstly, I recommend that you consider whether the burnout label is useful to you or not, and to use burnout if it is good for you, and to remove that word from your day-to-day language if it isn't. Now, whether you label burnout or not, once you honestly recognise the symptoms of burnout, then the quicker you can start taking positive action to help you to either stop bouncing into burnout if you're on the way there, or to bounce back from it if you think that you are already there. Now, you'll notice that I use the term bounce quite a lot. I quite like the thought of bouncing back from burnout because it evokes memories of my own recovery, and I believe that bouncing can generate a much more positive thinking pattern about burnout recovery. However, a word of caution, if I may. For many people, burnout can silently creep up on them. That's what happened for me. There was no swift bouncing into burnout. It literally evolved slowly, hour by hour, day by day, month by month, until burnout had taken hold. And then my recovery was gradual at the start, before eventually I did come storming back, bouncing back from burnout. So I'm using the phrase burnout bouncebackability with a bit of license here. For some, recovery could be swift, but for many, many people, recovery might take a bit of time, typically many months and sometimes even longer. I personally experienced burnout about 8 years ago, and I'll be sharing some of my experiences along the way. My stabilisation period after burnout was a few weeks, and then my longer term recovery took a few months to a year. In these videos, I'll be mixing in some of my own personal experiences of burnout with some of the theory. The series will touch on several topics rather than diving deep into any one individual topic. I encourage you to explore each topic on your own in more detail. Now, towards the end of the video series, I will be releasing an ebook with lots more info to help you on your way. It's also my intent to follow the series up with a sequence of interviews with other people who may have experienced burnout or who help professionals recover from it. And that follow-on sequence should provide many new or different perspectives, and I'm really excited about that sequence. This initial video series, though, is for workplace professionals who feel they might be on the path to burnout, in the middle of it, or who are recovering from burnout. The series is also for burnout supporters who may be line managers, bosses, work colleagues, family, friends, or even coaching professionals. I'm really excited to be sharing this information with you, and I hope you'll get something from the journey. As I said at the start, it's personal and it's my mission. So, see you in the next video tomorrow, where I'll take a look at the World Health Organization definition of burnout and relating it to what I experienced. I'm Stuart at Unscrambled Heads. I'm a high performance coach working with executives, corporate professionals and students. I focus on burnout recovery and prevention. Please comment, like or subscribe to my videos to view this Burnout Bouncebackability video series.
Change will not be easy, it's a necessity. You don't see what we see, you're your own enemy.